Hey guys, today we are going to be looking at the Bionicle 2004 Toa Vakama. And here he is. He's not sealed. I just have his canister. Took him apart really quick. I got him complete and built. So I just carefully took him apart, threw him back into the canister. So, gonna do a video on him. Like I did with the Torok Rakshi. Gonna do the same with um Toa Vakama. And he is my favorite of the Toa Metru. I love his character. So yeah, let's just get into it. Talk a bit more about it while I'm building him, because he's a fairly simple build. So yeah, let's just jump into it. So, unlike the so screw the top off, and not going to use the instructions because he's simple, so there's the instructions, but don't need them. So the canister, just like I did with, gonna show it off really quick. And, the canister was just basically, another part of the toy. Because, it's made out of plastic. It had a actual piece within the story. This guy used to cost essentially $10 back in 2004, and I just think that's crazy. So yeah, I'm gonna bring all this stuff back in. So yeah, I'm gonna split the two piles in half so we can have a little section here somewhat in the middle to build him. So yeah, Toa Vakama, he was in the first years of Bionicle, he was a Turaga, went back in time to tell all that sort of stuff, and turns out he used to be a Toa, and all that. And a lot of people like Vakama because he's like relatable. He didn't feel like he was worthy to be a Toa, and he felt like it was his fault that Toa Khan died, basically. He definitely grew as a character throughout the entire series of books, through adventures. He just grew as a character, and that's why a lot of people relate to him. Kind of like Rodimus Prime in the Transformers, how really didn't see himself destined to be the leader of... Didn't see himself destined to be a leader, or even, who he was. He didn't feel confident. But just like, kind of like the episode... Why is my camera, bugging out? But just like, what happened to, Rodimus Prime in, the Ultimate Weapon in the, Season 3 of, Transformers, is that's really when you see that, he, gains his, confidence that he's a leader, and that he's really meant to do all the stuff that Optimus Prime set up for him. And that really is very similar to Vakama, is that he never truly saw himself as the hero that he, the leader that he is supposed to be, that Toa Khan set up for him. He never thought that of himself. So he's just a very relatable character in the sense that he's not just the born hero like Optimus Prime, or the born hero as the others, and the other Toa. I'm just looking at the box to see if I'm doing the torso right. I don't know. If I screw it up, then it'll be okay. Just have to take it apart. And then by the time my favorite book comes around, Time Trap, that's the name of the book, Bionicle Time Trap, I think I did this wrong, but by the time Time Trap rolls around, which is the 10th book in Adventures, is that he really shows his confidence has really been boosted after having to face down two of the most menacing figures in the Bionicle universe. Not going to spoil the book because it's the best book in my personal opinion, best book in the franchise, but is that you get the same senses like Rodimus. That why am I struggling so much with this? But by the time the 10th book rolls around, he gains his confidence, just like, what's his name? Rodimus did in The Ultimate Weapon. He's like, you know what, Galvatron, you're just bluffing. You don't have an ultimate weapon. You're just trying to intimidate me. You know that I'm not confident in myself. And that's not happening anymore. And and really, I love his portrayal in Time Trap. The book Time Trap is that it makes him seem like such a cool character that he literally faced down two of the most powerful opponents in the entire Bionicle universe, and still survived he didn't tell everyone. Oops, hit the camera over. He didn't tell anyone his experiences fighting them, but he lived to be able to tell that tale and to spread his wisdom. And he's just such a cool character, is that his portrayal in the book, it's just my favorite representation of the character. And I just really, really like Vakama. It's sort of like you did Rodimus, but better, and more people liked him, I think. Not saying that people don't like Rodimus, but Vakama wasn't as big of a sort of a spit in the face, you could say, like what they did with Rodimus, kind of. He really showed that he was a leader, that he was going to be a leader, that he was destined to be that leader when, no one really knew that, no one knew what was ever going to happen to, no one knew what was going to happen to Rodimus. Just no one liked him. A few people liked him, but not very many people liked him. But is that Vakama gives off those same vibes as, as Rodimus. So that's like the best way I can connect Vakama to the Transformers community, in the sense that he's a similar character, that he's a brand new character in the franchise, replacing the new, already pre-established, reliable heroes, and taking a risk in that sense. So yeah, I don't know. So yeah. So he's a clone of the other Toa Metru, very similar. Very, very similar. Literally just different colors, different weapons, and different masks. So yeah. Here is Vakama. He is the Toa of Fire, the Toa Metru of Fire. So yeah, here he is. And so yeah, it's a fairly good build. The Metrus sort of like revolutionized, I guess you could say, the whole the building system. I'll take this out of his hands really quick. Is that they had the gearbox like the Toa Mata and Toa Nuva, but he had a ball jointed head. So he had decent articulation due to the way his neck attaches to his body. You can't get too much, but it's still a ball joint, so you still get a fairly good amount of articulation. You can always take the gears out of his torso to disengage the gearbox. to be able to get better arm articulation, but you could still get up and down, ball joint at the elbow, ball joint at the wrist, ball joint at the hips, ball joint at the knees, and ball joint at the ankles, which the Toa Mata and Toa Nuva basically had limited hips and limited shoulders. So these guys were a definite step up when it came to articulation and adding to the gimmicks. You had the gearbox for their weapons, and then Vakama here had a disc launcher, so it's a little finicky, a little weird. Doesn't sit like that, I don't know. And it shoots the disc by squeezing it. So, yeah, it's a cool little weapon. Shoots the disc, and you can vary it. You can squeeze it really hard and make it shoot really far or whatever. And you can hold it with these blue pin and axle pieces. And due to his articulation, you can get him to, you can get him to hold both, and then you can pose him like he's going to shoot it, like that. So yeah. And then you can take it out of his hands, and if you want to, and obviously these are axles, and that these are axle holes. So if you want to give him like a sword or something, you can give him whatever kind of weapon you want, as long as it's an axle or a way to make it compatible with an axle. Just straighten him out really quick. But you can go to the back and put this on his back like that for storage, and you can put the disc in it as well for storage. It doesn't stay in too well, but this is also labeled as like a jetpack, like it shoots off, and he does use that in Time Trap, which is cool. He uses the gimmick actually, like it's canon, it's not just for the toy. So yeah, Vakama, he doesn't have the greatest selection of like weapon, but coupled with his cool mask, his red design, and he's not like the bright red like Tahu before him. He's this deep maroon. So I really, really like that. His piercing, like yellowish green eyes. So yeah, and you could collect these are called Kanoka discs, and you could collect them all. There are different versions of them. This is just the one that came with it. So yeah. For $10 back in 2004, this was a great deal, I think. $10 gets you the gearbox gimmick from the earlier line, from the earlier wave. You get the Kanoka disc launcher that can shoot discs as a weapon or as a jetpack. You get the articulation. So yeah, just they did a very good job at the Metru toys, the Metru Toa. They were inexpensive at $10. They were fun. They had multiple gimmicks, but yet they weren't intrusive gimmicks. You know what else? 2004. I think that was also the first, like, late 2004 was Transformers Cybertron. So, another great year, another great toy line during 2004. So yeah, just very simple build. Nice that it's not too complex. Just very simple. We're very careful with the ball and socket. The sockets made more because you're not going to break the balls, but the socket technique that I learned from a YouTube video was that you hold both ends of the socket. You'll have a tough time because the way the socket works is when the ball goes in, it flexes open, and then the ball goes in. But it keeps those joints from cracking, and really before 2006 and 7, the joints didn't really break and crack. Really, it's 2006 to 7, the sockets got really brittle and poorly designed, so this set and sets basically before 2006 and 7, they're pretty much okay, and even the 6 and 7 sets, they're fairly decent, but you really have to watch out for the lime green. Basically, all the lime green will break, and that's a whole different video by itself. But so yeah, the set is still fairly sturdy, even for basically being 20 years old almost. Just still fairly sturdy, still holds up today, and is still, I don't know how much he goes for, but still, he's worth it for being a major character, being an awesome character at that. Just I really like him. He stands next to my Galaxy Force Optimus Prime. He stands next to my Twin Twist, my Make Toys Iron Will, my Siege Omega Supreme, my G1 Omega Supreme. The toys that mean a lot to me. Vakama stands up there. He's not my favorite character, but he definitely is one of my favorite, and he is the most relatable, and I think that's why a lot of people like him. So yeah, he's not too expensive, I think, since he's just the basic Toa. Obviously he's more than he was retail, but I just love the fact that I have him, and I got to buy him in a huge lot for $120. So yeah, just I love the toy. He has a place in my heart, but he's also a really good toy. He's worth every bit of it as a toy itself, not just as nostalgia. I didn't own this guy when I was younger. Just owning him, the story behind him, and the character. He's just a plain good toy. He's not just my opinion. He's a plain good toy, me personally. And I'd say if you're looking to start in maybe Bionicle, collecting Bionicle, or even just want a buildable figure, maybe not Vakama, but if you want a significant character, I don't know, the Metru style, the Metru body type, like the Metru Toa body type like this, I'd get at least one, so pick whichever color you want, basically, whatever flavor you want, but Vakama is my pick. So yeah, that's really all I have to say. So till next time, see ya. And I forgot to mention this in my last video, which was a week ago. Sorry, I just went like, hey, video's over. Nope, not yet. But last week was 1 year was 2 years on YouTube. So why not celebrate it with a really cool toy, real special character? I don't know. But just quick go through that. Been a blast. 2nd year on YouTube. Getting into new stuff. Well, I've been into Bionicle and Hero Factory, but starting to get into it. Gundam. So yeah, don't want to take away from Vakama, but I'm not going strictly Bionicle, Hero Factory, or Gundam. Sticking still hardcore with Transformers, because Transformers is the center, but Hero Factory, Bionicle, Gundam, they're still going to stay here. They're still going to keep coming, because I really like it, and I really want to share more about them, because they still have a piece of my heart, so they're not going away anytime soon. But I've had a blast on YouTube, and I'm still going to keep doing it, no matter what. So yeah, Vakama. So, see you next time. Now the video's over. See you next time. See ya.